Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today my group will be presenting for Regionalism and Regional Integration under subject ADS510 International Relations.
Assalamualaikum. My name is HADI bin Muhammad Firdaus.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Mohanieza binti Mas.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is IZATTIE binti SHAFIEE.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is ADRIANA binti Muhammad SUZAIRI.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURR binti KHAISUL MAHDI.
I will start the presentation with Introduction to Regionalism and Regional Integration. Regionalism can be referred as a terms of political and collective idea of forming regions, usually associated with a formal program. Since the mid-1980s, there has been an explosion of such regional program on a global scale, while the term regional integration can be defined as the process in which two or more nation-states agrees to cooperate and work closely together to achieve peace, stability and wealth. To understand why regionalism and regional integration occur, it is foundational to understand the concept of realism and liberalism in the context of international relations. There are two mainstream of approaches in this field. Realism approach sees power as the prime authority of dispute in international relations. They see war as the inevitable result of uneven power distribution among states. While some states may strive for goodness and peace, they must always guard against aggression, arming themselves to defend against other states. The state is the most important actor in international relations, and special attention is given to great power as they are key players in the international state. Liberalism approach look at the optimistic ways regarding international relations. According to Peace and K 2003, liberals sees international relations as a mixture of cooperation and conflict and argue that international organizations can play a positive role in promoting international stability and global welfare. The importance of military force in international relations has declined as it is no longer practical to use weapons to achieve foreign policy goals in this century. Societies are not as isolated from each other as they were in the past, as they are bonded together by global markets and production. They are dependent on each other. It is thus clear that in the context of international relations, liberalism is more positive than realism about the contribution and independence of international organizations. To better see what is regionalism and how it can be regional integration, there are some examples, which is ASEAN, European Union, and Arab League. And that's all.
And I will proceed to the next slide, which is regionalism in Europe. The European Union is one such entity that was formed in the process of political integration in the European region. The EU was established after the World War II in the late 1940s with the aim of ending wars with neighboring countries. The Union consists of 27 countries after UK decides to leave EU. However, as time passes, European countries begin to unite politically and economically in the pursuit of lasting peace. Moreover, there is some additional information I want to add which the challenges in EU. The first is the issue of Brexit. Brexit means British exit from European Union. This name was given to UK as they leave the EU, and Brexit is something like to negotiate the future relationship between UK and EU. This issue happens because of some factors such as sovereignty, immigration, and more. The second is the threats to the Schengen area of free movement. It is the largest free travel area which allowing the unrestricted and free movement of the people from one country to another country, and it included the 26 European countries' people. Schengen area causing the refugee problem. For example, in 2015, there is refugee crisis, which 1.25 million refugees need protection from the war, violence, and persecution from their origin country arrive at the EU borders. This problem increases by time to time, where the EU need to face the economic problem, which need to bear the cost of refugee, including their needs such as protection place, foods, and other basic needs, which costly.
In in this section, I will describe about challenges that happening in ASEAN. So first of all, ASEAN is a regional organization established by 5 members, namely Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia and Bangkok in 1967 on 8 August. Before the establishment of ASEAN, there were other establishments that created in effort to establish regionalism, but it led to failure. But now they are half of ASEAN member countries and ASEAN is the highest policy making body. Nevertheless, there are some challenges faced by ASEAN during this establishment. The first challenge is about issue of duplicate claims involved within the district. This issue occurred in 1890 when Malaysia and Singapore were involved in the Pedra Branca or Pulau Batu Putih conflict. So in 1979, Singapore said they were unhappy when Malaysia said that the island is belong to Malaysia and not for Singapore border. This issue has involved rights and contradictions, and at the end of this issue, the island has been declared. The island is the border of Singapore, and this challenge faced by ASEAN in creating the region of Southeast Asia. The second challenge is about resolving cultural disputes. In 2009, there was a phenomenon between Malaysia and Indonesia due to misunderstanding. This is because the country has similarity in culture and custom. So between these two countries, there is a conflict over the dance advertised under the Enigmatic Malaysia program that aired by the Asia Pacific Channel Discovery Network with misinformations. So due to this perception, a misunderstanding happened. Due to this, Ganyang Malaysia come out as a slogan as Indonesia protests against Malaysia. So whatever this issue has already been resolved. In my point of view, these challenges are strength for ASEAN to continue to constantly help each other.
The League of Arab States, or the Arab League, is a regional multinational organization of Arabic-speaking countries on the continents of Africa and Asia. It was founded on 22nd March 1945 in Cairo, Egypt. The mission of the Arab League is to promote trade and economic growth in addition to sovereignty and political stability in the region. One of the challenges faced by the Arab League on the individual level is that the Arab League may not have been effective in eliminating the influx of refugees and the violation of human rights. In the United Arab Emirates, it was reported that migrant workers were stranded in Abu Dhabi after their employer refused to renew their work permits, and these migrant workers were forced to work without wages. This indicates that labor rights of a foreign worker may not be secure even if the country is a member state of the Arab League. On the international level, the challenge faced by the Arab League is the struggle with instability, conflict and war in the Middle East. Olga and Hamura said the Arab League wasn't able to play a role in combating terrorism and radicalism in the region, to advance in the integration process between its members, or to stop the wars taking place in Libya, Syria and Yemen. Harp claims that the Arab League has failed to properly address the loss of Palestine and to remedy the injustice inflicted on the Arab Palestinians. In the process, Israel occupied and nearly annexed all the land on which an independent Palestinian state could be properly established. The Arab League may have been perceived as not influential enough to the extent of being capable to pressure a member state or a non-member state to do or refrain from an action, because the decisions reached by majority bind only to those that accept them.
I'm going to continue with the last part, which is the conclusion. To conclude, I can say that the regionalism and regional integration are important because of these collective efforts are a means of overcoming problems faced by the nation states in the regions. Cooperative efforts to improve the bilateral or multilateral interactions between the nations can help to drive the economic growth and improve the regional security. Even though there are challenges facing by the regionalism, but it will help the states under the region, which is according to the liberalism in the field of the international relations. The role of international organizations are to help the states overcome collective action problems, to promote the economic prosperity and global welfare, to help the society develop the shared value and norms, and to aid the victim of the international conflict. The application of the regionalism is manifest in the present day. Like we can see the presence of the regional entities such as the European Union, ASEAN and the Arab League. That's all from our group. Thank you.